Hey, welcome to Ice Age TV. And what are we doing today, huh? Wow. It's the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I haven't driven this Jeep Grand Wagoneer at all since I bought this vehicle. I'm not lying. I have not driven this vehicle. I've driven it home, and that's it. I've just been too doggone busy. You know what? I'm driving this thing today and seeing what she does for me, because man almighty, I bought this vehicle. I waited to get this vehicle. For since the time it was released, and truly I just haven't had time to drive this vehicle because I've just been way too busy driving other vehicles I have to work out of to do bigger tasks and bigger projects. So today I'm going to drive this around and get some impressions of what I think about my new Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Now, what's pretty crazy here is I spent a lot of time last night cleaning my Mach-E up, and I haven't driven this thing in ages because yesterday it showed no rain today, but rain Saturday. But yet here it is Friday, and it's raining. So for me, if I want it to rain, I just clean my cars. If anybody needs help out there, needs help getting some rain, just call me. Come to your house, I'll clean your cars all night long, and then it'll rain the next day. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is the 2 Series, and I just really like the way this vehicle's set up. It's so nice and low, it sits to the ground. I really love that feature. I really like the interior colors. I just really like. I would not have ordered this. So a woman ordered this. I would not have bought this. This is just a waste of money. It's like $1,200. Never used. Here's my future dog security area. I'll show you a video on that. I ordered the the Husky liners, and I really do like the Husky liner mat better than WeatherTech. I think it's a little softer rubber, so maybe WeatherTech has that, but I like the pricing. I just like the Husky stuff. So I like the back area here. The seats fold down, and I'm really excited to drive this new inline six twin turbo Hurricane motor and really start to get the real world economy. I don't think that maybe 14, 15 mile per gallon vehicle. I don't think this is a 17 mile per gallon vehicle, but I haven't had a chance to really drive it. So stay tuned as I show you around. I really love the feature. I just electronically put down the 3rd row seat. So it's a really nice feature on right here, how this raises and lowers. See that? Isn't that really cool? That's such a nice feature. You can stop it and you can put it right back down. So that's a really nice feature. It says under the storage here area. Okay. All right, so the adventure begins in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2 Adventures. And once again, I have not driven this vehicle. Only reason this vehicle has 339 miles on it is because it was switched from a Pennsylvania dealer down here. So when I bought this vehicle, it already had close to 300 miles on it. So I really just have no real driving time in this vehicle, which is incredible. It's like, wow, it's just hard to believe that I just too doggone busy. All right, and the one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my massaging seats on, but you know, I'm just so in and out of so many doggone different vehicles. I just can't keep track. Where the hell is the heated seat? I don't even know. I mean, I don't. Because I'm just in too many damn cars. I have so many different vehicles, and this is such a brand new vehicle to me. I don't know right now. I mean, I would have to stop on the side of the road to figure out how to put a heated seat in this car. Because I haven't driven it now for like 2 weeks. I mean, is it up here? Is it up here? Is this it? So, no, that's not it. Or is it? I don't know. I have no idea. So, is that the heated seat right there? There it is. Oh. Okay, so, is it over here? There it is, look. Alright, so now, there it goes, I guess. Just incredible. Challenge of these new vehicles, especially for people that aren't the youngest of the bunch. I don't know sincerely how an 80-year-old person, even a person in their 70s, that hasn't bought a new car in 10 years, how they would actually get in one of these vehicles and drive one of these high-end vehicles and actually even know what they're supposed to do. I don't believe they do. I can about guarantee you that majority of the elders in this country that buy these sophisticated cars, they don't use the technology. All they do is get in the car, turned on, put it in drive it to the local store, put it in park, and then drive back home. And as far as, the adaptive cruise control, the massaging seats, the navigation, just all the little amenities that you get in these vehicles, the sunroof. I mean, I bet you half of them don't even know how to open a sunroof. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's just overwhelming with too much information. All right now, this vehicle, I have not driven this vehicle now since the day I bought it. This i6 Hurricane inline 6 twin turbo Hurricane motor. This little thing to me is potent for this size vehicle. It's like 500 horsepower, and it just really does get up the road and go. I mean, this thing is just like effortless to move, go down the road. And keep in mind, feeling those massaging seats with the heated seats right now, and keep in mind that I've been driving around my electric Ford F-150 Lightning truck a lot lately. For the last really 2 weeks, I've been living out of that F-150 Lightning. And that truck, the torque on that truck with that battery pack is so instantaneous. It really, in so many aspects, takes away the ICE engine other vehicles, because you don't get that instantaneous push the pedal down and the vehicle really launches you and you go. But this Jeep Grand Wagoneer, right now, I feel this thing's really strong. And I really did not want that 392 motor. If it wasn't for Chrysler, the 6.4 V8 motor, which is less powerful, less horsepower, less torque. So I really waited for the inline 6 Hurricane motor to come available, even though I know it's a huge risk of me being a guinea pig in this engine. I do know that. Time will show as time prevails, but I really do like the engine setup better. I'm not looking for that big exhaust note out of an elegant SUV. I'm just not looking for that. I mean, I know you can buy these SUVs, the dark part, the Cadillac performance package and the Chevy Tahoe performance package, but for me, I'm just not really wanting that type of experience because I have performance vehicles. And this is an elegant vehicle, which to me radiates, the plush, nice, quiet. I mean, that's kind of what you want. And especially what you learn in these big SUVs is you put an exhaust system on them, usually that exhaust just resonates throughout the whole interior, and you borderline get that drone. So I just don't want that. So far, wow, really nice. I'm really excited about this because I have not had the chance. I've been so busy in my business of doing other things. This vehicle doesn't work in many applications for what I do. Today's a rainy day. This is a perfect day for me to drive this car, get to know it better, and really, hopefully, radiate back to you watching my channel that this really is a great vehicle, great overall value to purchase in this price range, in this category. Or I'm going to walk away and say it's overhyped and it's not what I thought, and it'll be on the chopping block sooner than later. I mean, for me, I can very easily sell this right now. I put a lot of equity into this vehicle, so I could easily just say, you know what, I had my fun with it, and I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. I really hope not, because I really waited for this vehicle most of my life. I've talked about this in my other conversations. When I was just a kid in 1977, 78 in New Jersey, I can remember seeing a well-to-do executive up the road from us that had a nice little farm. He owned one of the Jeep Grand Wagoneers, and it was red with it was like a burgundy, kind of red, lighter burgundy, kind of real, kind of weird red color with the wood grain panel. It's just a beautiful car. And even back then, that was a very expensive vehicle that my father just couldn't justify to buy. All right, everybody, so rainy day, and I haven't turned the adaptive cruise on yet. I'm just trying to get a feel for the vehicle. In the auto mode, I think I'm fine. I'm not really going to go to sport mode. I have no desire in that. So what is going to be, though, the fuel mileage? The tires are respectable in their tire pressures. See, 13.8. So let's just go ahead and erase the fuel mileage on, I guess here, what's this all about? See, there's just so much stuff on this car, even for me. Just seeing what's going on. So, at the end of the day, hey, I'm getting 99 miles per gallon. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, right. So at the end of the day, my guess is maybe 15. That's my guess. So you are watching what I'm watching as I get up the road. That's so interesting. So where is the speedometer? Speedometer went over to the right-hand side. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Well, you talk about a screen. So there's your fuel mileage right there. Interesting. And all the little features here. So that's like over information. Does it have the turbo? Didn't show the turbo thing there. All right, so there we're 11.8 average. Let's just hold that down. See if I can get rid of that, and then get this thing back to what we think it's going to be. Stay tuned. You know, it's really interesting. This screen is so bright right now. It's giving me like my own personal studio. Look at this right here. I mean, look. I mean, it's so bright. Now, where is the screen, you know, changes? I can't tell. Just once again, just there's a ton of stuff over here. Your gas, your brake, and your gas pedal, or I should say your brake and gas pedal, up and down features, and it has those two little knobs that I really thought that I could change the, no, it doesn't do it. It does not do it. So if I have to go into the screen settings, there's Potomac River. Now this does have the wireless Apple Play, so that's really nice, which that's just kind of a standard now in most of the upscale vehicles. You don't have to plug in your Droid or your iPhone to get the Apple Play. And this vehicle, once again, this thing is really just rocks down the road. I just can't get over how easy it is for this thing to get up the road. There are just so many buttons. I mean, over here is your lumbar and your seat adjustment for the back, for your head, for your lower area here. I mean, this thing has lumbar support for like your lower legs right here. I don't even know how to even do it. I'm sitting here, geez, just too much. Just like I say, just so much information. Just drive. Another really cool feature about this vehicle is you can take this lower screen and you can open up the compartment there to enable you to put your phone down there or your whatever you may be doing. So here, look. Isn't that really cool? And so now here's all your accessory plugs and everything. Wow, the car is just really, really elegant. Very elegant car. Keep in mind, I've owned the Land Rover, full-size, really nice vehicles, SUVs, and you know, I've had some really nice vehicles throughout my car days, and most recently the Land Rovers up to like 2018 or 19, and this thing just so nicely goes down the road. I mean, just so elegant. You definitely feel like you're the king of the day, or you're the queen of the day, of just how this car just really is solid. No like funny noises, no vibrations, no rattles, and the massaging seats are just awesome. And look here. So right now, do we get respectable mileage today? I mean, what do we get out of this thing today? I mean, I'm thinking it's a 15 mile per gallon vehicle. They're saying it's 7. I'll be blown away if it's 17 miles per gallon. The one thing you do have to do, you do have to put premium in this vehicle, which is kind of that's kind of a drawback in my views, because premium, there can be a 50-cent, close to $1 difference on fuel, depending where you are. So I think that is kind of unfortunate that you're kind of forced to hand, because my Fords, you can run 87 octane in them, and the high, you know, they don't really, I'm sure they would say prefer premium, but the cars run fine. You're not getting the ultimate performance out of them, I guess, but this here, it's like you have to run premium. All right, for me to drive this car and to really enjoy it. Have I said that 10 times now? And just going down the road here, doesn't have the hands-free driving, which I'm kind of surprised. Stellantis seems to be a little late in that ball game on the hands-free capability, but I guess it's just all about, I guess it's a lot about the liability factor. Maybe they're just not there. They just feel like the technology still needs, in some ways, I would say that they may be sitting back. And so let's let Ford and General Motors and Mercedes and the others out there continue to refine this self-driving hands-free capability, and then when we see they've worked out all the quirks, we'll go ahead and we'll get more involved. It just seems like it's just like the Ram product. They didn't have adaptive cruise control in their Rams for a few years after Ford had brought it to their product. So I would say it's more about they like to kind of sit back for a second and evaluate, I would think. And also it's the R&D and the money, and it drives up the price of the vehicle. A lot of variables. And I guess some would be more like, hey, don't you just want to drive your vehicle? All right, now we're kind of going up a grade of a hill, and I'm kind of feeling there the size of the vehicle to the motor. Not radical, but for sure for what I'm used to driving. So I came off a stop and accelerate up a hill, and it's respectable. But it's not like earth-shattering moving, which it's not what I really would expect from a vehicle per se anyways. But you can feel this is a lot of vehicle as far as when you come off the line. Driving down the road, it has a much more solid, stable, confident feel. And you really are, it really is. It's just a very, and it doesn't have a lot of roll to it. Like, we're coming through a corner right now, and we'll go through this corner, and let's just kind of see how she feels. And yeah, she's, just a really, I would have to say, on par with most big SUVs on that type of ride. But even more so, I think just a little bit more refined. So, yeah, just great. All right, now we're out here in the farm country in Maryland, and let's see how this car handles these really notoriously imperfection of roads. Anybody kind of know that story? You drive these back roads, and the roads are just really borderline in a shambles. They just have so many bumps and imperfections, and it really, it really moves the car around a lot. So let's see how this Jeep Grand Wagoneer does on eating up and soaking up the bumps. Just as far as like the noises, do you hear rattles? Does it really bounce you around? And this really is, whether you realize it or not, a pretty bumpy road, because I drive these roads on a consistent basis, and it really does push the vehicle around. And so, how does she do? As I get up the road, there's my 18 miles per gallon. So it's kind of gone down a little bit from 19. So as you go through the corner, how does she feel? She feels like a big SUV, but at the same time, she has a confident footprint, so it's not too big a, feeling like the vehicle's moving around too much. And I don't have it in a sport mode. I'd rather have this thing in the auto mode where it just kind of does what it's supposed to do. But this thing is just so quiet, and they really did do a great job on the fit and finish, where you're not getting that typical big box noise out of this vehicle, and or getting a lot of the shaking or the rattling. And so yes, for Jeep, I think they've done a phenomenal job in this Grand Wagoneer. It just really is an enjoyable vehicle to drive. Interestingly enough, I asked my wife to drive it a few times, and she just loves that green Jeep Grand Cherokee L so much that she just wants to drive that. And I talked about that earlier in my conversations today about having twins. So for me right now, in some aspects, do I have twins? The Jeep Grand Wagoneer, the Greek Jeep Grand Cherokee? In some aspects, yeah. Not exact twins, but they're sisters. Then the Jeep Mojave. So this is a thing that I'll definitely turn off. That there's a speed camera up front here, which that's kind of annoying if you ask me. That little chirping noise, but I guess at the same time, it's not too bad because who hasn't driven through a speed camera and gotten a mailed ticket to you a month later and like, oh my gosh. You know, one thing I haven't talked about is this has the Macintosh new premium sound system. So this really does have a really nice, you know, radio in it. And then apparently Jeep steered away from, I guess it was Bose or a Harman Kardon. I think it was Harman Kardon that used to be the most dominant radio system in the Mopar products, and a lot of people didn't like that product, so they have updated their this, and it's so crazy. I'm just so much technology on these cars that the Fords have the, you know, switches for your radio, but on the on here in the Jeeps and Mopars, it's on the side of the steering wheel here. So see here, you can kind of hear that, and even the sound is on the right hand side here. One thing I've noticed about this Jeep Grand Wagoneer is the brakes are really nice, really confident, and the steering radius is really nice. So when you're in those tight areas, tight spots, this radius and this steering capability really does get you in and out. And the braking, it just really is a confident brake that you don't feel like it's too strong, not too weak. So that's another plus here in this vehicle. And I'm still in the back. I had a Porsche Macan here in front of me, and that vehicle has been getting really beat up on this road. I've been able to watch the characteristics of that vehicle as it goes down the road, and I'm noticing, whoa! Yep, so here you go. Look at that. Yeah. Did this car just handle that situation phenomenally on a rainy day? It did. Wow. Does that take your breath away? So this vehicle right now, I just jammed on the brakes, and the ABS literally kept this vehicle from sliding off the road. Wow. Is that incredibly dangerous right there? So this with that person's driveway, if it would have just been one car or two cars more in front of this vehicle here, you just would have witnessed a rear end accident of me rear-ending a person come around a corner. Wow. Are the car gods on my side today? Woo! Yeah, this guy here, I'm sure this guy in his... Wow, this guy just about took me out. Yeah, I mean, I know if I was sitting in his car, I'd be like, yikes. So, hey, anybody... This is an incredibly stopping car with the weight and a rainy day. It was a statement. And I came across, I came around that corner at a pretty good speed. So, just, wow. I'm glad I was in this vehicle today. Could you picture being in an older vehicle today and it didn't have its technology? It would have been a car crash. Here we go again. Here you just go around these guys. And this is here where you just go around. Just so dangerous for those guys there. I mean, yikes. Yeah, people die every day on the roads. And if I would have had anybody behind, now I've got a car that's kind of caught up to me. If that person didn't have the technology I have, they would have rear-ended me. I mean, instantly you can turn into a disaster on these roads. Vehicles crashing one another. Wow. Just incredible.